Hello, welcome back to the channel. We are continuing our work on the Ruby parser using a parsing expression grammar and a parser generator. And we've made good progress over the last several videos. Thanks if you've been tagging along. Thank you for doing that. I think it's a really fun project, and hopefully we get to learn something along the way and learn some good techniques and have a little bit of fun. I don't have a webcam tonight because I was fighting with the lighting and the frame rate, and I just gave up. So sorry you don't get to see my lovely face, but I don't think it really matters that much. So let's just do a quick review. Last video we worked on syntax error, so it had a little bit more detail, information, helpful context. We worked on a couple of little things here. We're parsing method calls in this commit, multiple expressions, and so on and so forth. So lots of little commits building up towards a full-blown Ruby parser. I don't know how many more sessions it will take, honestly. I don't really have a good feel for how long hash syntax and array syntax and I don't know, classes and method definition and all that stuff. I don't have a great sense of how long each of those will take. So who knows how many videos we'll have, and who knows if anyone will even watch them. That's okay though. That's okay. Just have some fun. So tonight, well, whenever you're watching this, maybe day for you, but night for me, I thought I would work on method definition. So it would be really cool if we could define a method. We can call a method, but can we define it? Parser test. Let's add a new test because we do test-driven development. Saves me a lot of back and forth. Parses method definition. And I suppose that looks something like this. Def foo, and this is probably the simplest method definition that there is. Yeah, you can't get much simpler than that. No arguments, no body. And since we can run our test suite through MRI Ruby and Natalie, we can run it through Ruby like this and see exactly what we should be getting, because we are mimicking the Ruby parser gem and we want to have the same output. So I can just copy that over here, and that should now pass. And this one should not pass. And so what we got was it thought, oh, what? Yeah. It thought that it was a method call def with an argument of a method call foo, and end. Yeah, so it thought def and end are just method calls. So we need to have a special case for that. So I've been trying to organize this grammar from more abstract or more high level near the top down to lower level at the bottom. And so anytime I pause here when I'm inserting something is me trying to decide what kind of thing this is that we're going to add. So garbage, I don't know, maybe garbage should go down at the bottom, but I'll leave it there for now. We have addition and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to put it right here. Method. It's the keyword def followed by, and we already have an identifier, which is super handy, followed by, I'm just going to go full on test-driven development here. I'm literally just going to make the test pass, and that way we can be sure that we are writing enough tests. So if this matches, then we need to return something for it. And I've already forgotten what that looks like, but it's a DEFN followed by the name, followed by this thing that will contain the arguments, followed by the body. And out of curiosity, if I say def, foo 1, 2, 3, and then end, are the body elements just in line? Yes, they are. So everything after args is the body. It's good to know ahead of time. So defn, defn, followed by the name, followed by args. So I think we can do that pretty easily. Say array value result equals new array. And we already know what we want for the first thing. So let's just write a symbol here. DFN. Results push, and this is going to be the identifier. I believe, yeah, identifier evaluate. Just make sure identifier is down here somewhere. Yeah, it has a lambda here, so I need to call evaluate on it and pass in the environment. And then I need to push a new array that is another symbol. And I believe it was args, right? Is it args? Yep. And this is where we will put arguments, but we don't need to worry about that right now. So it'll just be an array with one element in it, one symbol. And then last, it's going to be the body. And in our case, we don't have a body, so let's just push nil. env nil object, and return the result. So if we did everything correctly, then our test should pass, and we can write another test. Apparently did not do everything correctly. So now this is an array on the left side and this S expression on the right side, and that's something I need to fix, but I'm not too worried about it right now. So this is something I could keep doing, is I forget to put the rule, and forget to reference the rule from some other rule. Now, method definition in Ruby is technically an expression. It returns a symbol. It returns a symbol of the name of the method being defined. So I think it would be fine to put it here. And I believe we need to put it, well, I'm just going to stick it in the front. Because I don't think you can add two methods together. That would be kind of weird. You can't add or subtract them or do anything like that. You can't. Now maybe you can call. Maybe you can't call another method with a method definition as an argument. So this is probably wrong, but hopefully we can prove that with a test. Oh, and it's not just a bare nil. It's an array containing nil. Does that look right? Do I have all the right number of things? No, still missing something. Oh, it's not actually nil, it's a symbol. So that's basically this here, but nil. I saw nil, and I didn't actually notice that there was a colon there. Okay, so let's add this to the index, and we're making some good progress. So now we need another test. And for this test, we're going to, now I don't ever do this, but I believe you can define a method without the parentheses. Yeah, you can do that. So let's make sure we write a test for that. And so let's just do arguments. So both with and without parentheses, and let's run it through Ruby to make sure that we get this all correct. And both of these should be the same. Yeah. Okay, just out of curiosity, we know Natalie will not be able to pass this test, but I'm just curious what it thinks it sees. It thinks these are individual method calls. That's kind of cool. So sorry, I'm pausing because I realized that I'm not supporting semicolon anywhere. There's a new line. And I'm wondering if it's safe to just do it here, like that. I mean, I'm going to do it and see if any tests break other than the one that's already broken. Now, you're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to only make refactoring type changes on green, not during red, which is a failing test. But, you know, I think it's okay. So, anytime we see NL for new line, it also applies to a semicolon. So that's pretty cool. Args. And args is any expression. Should we make another one called parameters or something? Because this is parameters. It's not going to be expression. It's going to be identifier. Now I know later on we can have default values and stuff. I'm not going to worry about that too much. So I think it's going to look a lot like this. And in fact, we can probably just copy all of this. So it's going to push all of these onto the array. And these are the parameters. So, and I forgot the semicolon. That's my favorite trick. Okay, method. So how do I do this? Let's do the one without parentheses first. Parameters question mark. And I need to append the parameters onto the end of this thing. So let's pull this out. Nope. Pull that out. Let's say array value args. And then do that. And then for auto parameter in all of the parameters, which is E1, evaluate args push parameter. Oh, right, I think I have to dereference this. No. Oh, and this is an array. It's not just a generic Natalie value, it's an array value. But we only want to do this if there are parameters, this could be a little bit challenging. Let's just do one thing at a time. So my brain is jumping a little bit ahead, but that's okay. I forget, was it size or, yeah, it's a size. One of the previous videos, I had trouble because I thought it was length, and length was string length, and size is the array size, so it gets a little confusing. So if eSize is greater than 1, then let's assume we have parameters. Otherwise, it's just empty args. And now this is still going to fail, but it's going to be a different line number, hopefully. Hopefully looking at line 90. This is the one with parens. Let me just make sure. Line 90, yep. That's the one with parens. And so let's see if we can get this to pass just by putting parens like this. You know, anything is possible. Okay, well, we got that one to pass. The interesting thing about this is that if there are parens, you can put a new line here, and a new line here, and a new line here. But if there's no parens, then let's see, you can put a new line here. I'm just sprinkling these in somewhere just to kind of try to throw it off. You want to try to trick your own program with these tests. See if you can find any edge cases. And obviously I'm not going to think of all of them, but if we can get all of those to pass, we'll be a little bit ahead. So line 92. That's this last one. I'm guessing it didn't parse that properly. So what did it get? It thinks it's a call to def, and so it's kind of reverting back to the other thing. Now that kind of gives me pause, because if you do the syntax wrong for a method definition, it should not fall back to thinking that you're calling a method called def, because that is never going to be true. It should raise some sort of error about that being a keyword and you can't use it. In fact, if we do this in Ruby, if we say def equals 1, yeah, that's, come on, how do I even get out of this? Yeah, I can't even, it's just confused. What if I do it with Ruby? Say def equals 1, unexpected equal. So I'm not exactly sure how to do that with a parsing expression grammar. Definitely some homework for me. So I'll be looking into that, and hopefully in a later video I can figure out with a parsing expression grammar, how can I treat these keywords as special and not fall back to treating them as a, I don't know, as a method call. But anyway, but let's just try to get this test passing. If there is a paren, then a new line is allowed. And this new line is optional. And if there is a paren, then there's a new line allowed here. And maybe that might do it. Parameters, there's new lines allowed there. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. Perfect. Add that to the index. So we've made it through parsing an empty method with and without arguments, with and without parentheses around the arguments. So let's see if we can throw something in here like just a 1. So let's just have a bare method with a 1 inside of it. And I'm just going to write this by hand for funsies. Let 1, I believe, let's just run it through Ruby to make sure. Nope. And yeah, that's all kinds of garbage. All kinds of garbage. We want this to, oh, you know what I just realized? That change I made earlier with the semicolon, that is also garbage. That's never going to be good because you can't allow a semicolon inside of a method definition. So I'll have to come up with something else for the semicolon. Might have to have another little thingy called new line or semicolon, but in any case, not that important for now. Let's put that back, parameters. And so here we want to say method body. Method body. Yeah, let's make a rule for method body. It's going to be pretty simple. It's going to be an expression. And we did this somewhere else. Did we do it? Those are args. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be very much like this. It's a valid program. Is there any value in using this existing rule? I don't think so. It's a little bit different. So it's an optional expression followed by end of expression. Oh yeah, what is end of expression? Oh, semicolon or new line. Well, silly me. I forgot I'd made that. Fun times. So I just need to use this in all the right places. Ha ha. Okay. Well, sometimes you forget what you've been doing. Or at least I do. Auto environment. It's going to look a lot like this, so I'm going to cheat. And I'm going to return an array, but I'm not going to have this block thingy on the front. So the question is then, how do I know that I have a method body? Let's just see what our test, how it fails. Yeah, it's still doing method calls, and that's line 88. Oh, that actually broke this. That broke this. So, change this to end of expression while I'm here. Nope, 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 don't do it, don't do it, don't resist the urge. We don't have any semicolons in our test, so we can't make that pass. Okay. Method body. Why? Why is that not matching? Expressions. Well, if it's optional, so let me just sanity check. If I remove this, 988 passes. And 993 fails. And I think 93 is this bottom line. But if I put it back, Let's take off the question mark. Line 88. Fascinating. Fascinating. Why do you think that is? Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. Why? I don't understand. Let me go look at this test again. It gets to here. There is no method body. There's literally no characters to consume whatsoever, unless it's consuming. Oh my goodness. It's consuming the word end as if it's an expression. And it's never backtracking. Now that's interesting. Interesting. Okay. So this may go along with what I was talking about earlier, where def and end and so on and so forth are keywords. They're not variables or identifiers. And it'd be nice if there was a way to not count them as identifiers or whatever. So what if we baked into the identifier that it's not those keywords? And so how you do that here is I did it with double quote character. I'd say not this followed by anything. So it will match anything that's not, well, the not. It's anything that's not the not. So what if we do this? If we say not end. Now the question is, can I combine multiple of these? Not end and not def. Let's put these in the other order. How many tests does that break? I have a feeling that's going to break all kinds of stuff, but if it works, return value def foo. That was line 93. Ooh, does that mean everything else passed? We're down to line 93. Oh, yes, look at that. That actually did do it. So what if we now get rid of these parens and we take this and we say G keyword, keywords, not just keyword, and we put that in a rule and we say this is not a keyword. We say an identifier is not, oh my goodness. We say an identifier is not a keyword. Aha. And let's just make sure that it's still failing in exactly the same way, passing and failing in the same way. Yes, and so we're on line 93. All the others are passing. We have solved our issue with keywords by just saying an identifier can never be a keyword. And so now we put our list of keywords here. And so anytime we come up with a new keyword, like, next we'll have class and module and so on and so forth. But we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. So we figured out, oh, that's exciting. I like it when I discover and find out how to do something sort of accidentally. It will stick with me a lot longer than if I read it in the manual or some blog post or something else. That's just how I learn. It's probably not correct or whatever, but it works for me. Oh, that's really, really satisfying. So the good news now is our really cool syntax errors coming through, and it's telling us that it just cannot parse this string, def space foo new line 1 new line end. It just can't. There's nothing. There's zero. There's no rule that satisfies that string or that matches that string. And the question is why? Why is that? Because in my mind, we have def followed by an identifier followed by optional arguments, parameters, followed by new line, followed by the method body, followed by end. Oh, it's the new line. There has to be a new line right here. I bet that's it. Okay, we are getting somewhere. So what we don't have... Okay, I was afraid of this. So it put the body, it thought that they were parameters. And this is going to be a huge problem. This is going to be a huge problem because I cannot differentiate between, so like E1, E subscript 1, I don't know if it's parameters or method body depending on what's there and what's not there. So that's going to be a problem. I might need some sort of canary. So if I do parameters, man, I don't know if I love it being all the way down here. I definitely don't like it being all the way down here. I'm just going to put it up here, right next to method. So what we were having to do here, I'm just going to do it in here. I'm going to say args, args, args. So now, when, let's see here. Let's just pretend that it's args to start with. Do I want to do it like that? It's always going to be an array. Okay. We say if args 0. Ugh, I don't know if this is right. Is symbol and args 0. This is a little bit gross. This is definitely not my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Wait, what do you mean it's not for real? If it's a symbol and it equals args, then we're going to, what are we going to do? We're going to do something. Then we're going to push the args here. Oh, but wait a second. I have an even better idea. We don't need to do all this. We just push it. Results. Push. Don't need to worry about that. Don't need to worry about that. Because parameters, we're just going to teach parameters to not worry. We're going to have it be optional here. It's always going to return the args array, and it's always going to have at least one element starting with the symbol args, and it may be empty after that. Oh, this is much better. So parameters, it's always going to match. I hope. At least I hope it will. And method body will always match. And method body is an array. I'm going to say if e2, which is the method body, and we know it's an array, it has to be an array. If it's greater than 0, then we want to append each item in the array What do you mean it's not a pointer? Remember reference type, value, expression. Oh, I didn't do evaluate. Is it size? I don't remember. Size, okay. We'll put this in the else block. So if there's a body, then append it to the result. So we'll say auto item in, and let's actually pull this out. So body array value body equals that. Say body, then we're going to push the item onto the S expression, or the array. Oh, I'm a little nervous about running the test because I have a bad feeling like I broke something. It worked. It worked. Friends, it worked. We are on the home stretch, I think. I'm going to do the semicolon thing, like with a test. Let's do it here too. Semicolons work instead of new lines. Same here. So all of those should parse. I mean, they won't at first, but when we're done, they will. Okay, just out of curiosity, what line? 89. That's what we would expect. This is easily fixable because instead of just NL here, we can do end of expression, which is a horrible name, by the way. End of expression. And end of expression, we learned and relearned, is either a semicolon or a new line. And it's required. Whereas NL is optional. Yeah. So this is much better. That has to be an end of an expression, or I kind of wonder if I need to call it end of line. Yeah, I'm going to call it end of line because that's really more accurate to what it is. Let's see if these all pass. Nope. It's line 88 is not passing. Oh, this one's not passing. Whoops. Oh, end of line, any number of them. I think. I'm not sure if that's going to fix it or not. Nope. Line 88. So, end of line. Let me just go look at that again. So it's either semicolon or new line, and it's only one of them. Whereas this NL was 0 or more. End of line. Okay, but if there's no method body, this end of line stuff is really gonna bake my noodle. So e.size is greater than 2, then do this. Otherwise, just give me a new array. That's a little bit stupid, but does that work? Nope. Still line 88. No, 88 over here, silly. Okay. And it's when there's no method body. Really throws things off. I mean, if I did... Let's put this back. If I did this with stars, would that be more like what we had before with the new line? Okay, that does seem to be a little happier. It's not entirely accurate though, because I will require a new line or a semicolon. I don't think you can do def foo x y. Well, even with parens, I don't think you can say like this. Oh, you can. No, you can't. Well, where'd it go? Foo? What in the world? Yeah, I'm guessing that's just not valid. It's kind of messing up IRB, I guess. Oh, no. Oh, that was just wrong arguments. Okay, hold on. Start over. So you can tell me, you're telling me that you don't even need the new lines? Foo, 1, 2. Oh, you don't need the new lines. Okay, well, I stand corrected. I guess I'll leave these as stars for now. It does make all my tests pass. Which is good enough for this evening. So, wow, look at that. We have method definition. You know what I didn't do? I didn't actually write a test for, let's say xy, new line 1, new line 2. And let's make sure that looks right. So what that should look like is this. And we get to see if Natalie needs some tweaking. Nope. She's happy. Okay, well, there you have it. Parsing method definitions. There's definitely a chance that I've messed up something in this, but I think this is getting pretty close, and we can tweak it as we start parsing larger and larger sources. We're probably going to run into some edge cases that we can just play around with and tweak, but so that's pretty cool. And then the other thing that I think is really fascinating, and I'm really proud that we figured it out, was keywords and making sure that identifiers are never containing a keyword. That is so cool. So that's how you do it with a with a parsing expression grammar. And I probably should know these things, but sometimes I just like to learn things the hard way. That's how I learn the best. Let's just go look at our diff. Yep. Okay, so let's commit this thing. What do you mean? Oh, there we go. Parse method definitions. Oh yeah, I don't have internet right now. That's okay, I'll push it later. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, working through these issues, working through this parser stuff. It's been kind of fun, and maybe next time I'll work on classes and modules. It'll look similar to the method definition, I think, except no parameters. But it does have, the syntax where you can say class foo inherits from whatever other class. So that'll be not too hard, hopefully. Anyway, have yourself a wonderful day, night, whatever, and hope to see you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Talk to you later. Bye.